How's everyone doing? Today I have another horror collection update with 5 movies and 1 Funko Pop. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the Funko Pop first. But let me know if you've seen the movies and what you think of them and which one of these items was your favorite. One of the movies or the Funko Pop. I got Pennywise from the It miniseries. And let me know if you prefer the old school It miniseries or Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, the newer one. I haven't seen Chapter 2 yet, but I plan to soon. Let me know which one of those you like better too. Chapter 1 recently or the Chapter 2 one recently. But I really dig the look to this one, actually. I never thought the old miniseries was scary, but I thought it was great storytelling, and Tim Curry was awesome. And I love the whole cast, too. That was a cast of actors that I grew up with, so it was cool to see them in there. And here he is. To me, I think that looks really cool, and you got the sharp teeth right there. And very different from, I'm trying to remember where I put the other one from the, hold on, un momento por favor. From the recent one, right there. So you can see them right next to each other. I like that they did something different and unique. And I feel like the newer ones are definitely darker and scary, or the recent one that I saw, the first one was definitely darker and scary. It looks like the second one's going to be very much in that vein. But there we go. I think it looks pretty awesome. And again, I definitely appreciate the storytelling and the cast big time. I definitely like Tim Curry a lot. A phenomenal actor who's been around for a long time. And I always display my Funko Pops outside of the box. Let me know if you keep yours in the box or take them out. There's the packaging right there. And it's number 55 all around the box if you want to see that stuff. But yeah, I think that's awesome. I definitely want to get more of the horror Funko Pops. I'm not too big into, there's like every month like 200 new ones are released, and you have chases and variants and different store exclusives and glow in the dark and flocked and all that kind of stuff. I'm really picky when it comes to that. Even some of the horror ones, I'm not a big fan of. Like some of the blood splatter ones, it's too excessive. Like I love the Leatherface one, which was a Hot Topic exclusive. Got very lucky getting that one. That wasn't that much. It's just a little bit right on the side. But the Michael Myers one and then the Tiffany from Bride of Chucky, both of those have too much. It's excessive. It just, I don't know. I don't really love the look to it personally. And then the recent Chucky one too, which is a Walmart exclusive, I think from Child's Play 3, just like the bloody face. I don't know. I don't necessarily love the look to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just I'm picky in general, but I do love the recent Killer Clowns one. I really love them. I think it was Slim. I really want to see them do Shorty. And then what I think they should do is a Cotton Candy Cocoon Funko Pop. I think that would be awesome. And then they also have Chatterer too from Hellraiser, which I will be getting both of those, by the way. The Killer Clowns, Slim, and then Chatterer. So look forward to those coming up soon too. But I think this one looks awesome. Let me know if you collect Funko Pops and which one is your favorite in your collection and what you'd like to see them release in the future. And let me know if you have any horror ones especially, because that's my main focus right there. But now let's get into the movies. I've seen some of them, but some of them's been a long time. But I'm going to get into the one that I haven't seen first, and that is Midsummer, released from A24 Studios and Lionsgate, from Ari Aster, who did Hereditary, which to me is the best horror movie of this decade. Check out my top 10 horror movies of the decade from 2010 to 2019. I'll put a link down below, I guess, in the comment section in the pinned one. To me, Hereditary was one of the best horror directorial debuts out there. I also really like Jordan Peele's directorial debut with Get Out, too. Very different films, but Hereditary was just so creepy to me. Creepy, atmospheric, and one of the creepiest movies not of just recent years, but of ever. Midsummer, this one looks so drastically different. Like Hereditary was just a lot of dark grays, blacks, again, which reflects the bleak tone of the movie, that washed out hue. This one looks to be very bright and summery and like a horror movie says broad daylight. So that's interesting. And then I saw the Fangoria cover of Midsummer. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if they got stung by a bee like multiple times. I don't know what's going on, but that face, oof. I feel like the director has certain things that they do for certain characters, at least from the first movie, and then it looks like just from that shot makes me think of a certain character from the Hereditary too. But basically, from what I read in the synopsis here, it's about an American couple who, after a family tragedy, they go join some friends during a midsummer festival in a remote Swedish village, and then I guess things start to get crazy and violent and disturbing. I'm excited for this one. 147 minutes. This is probably one of the ones I've been looking forward to the most this year, so I am super for this. I will be watching it tomorrow. Hereditary is, again, for me, it's become one of my all-time favorite movies, and from hands down the top movie of the decade. So I can't wait to check this out. It's such a phenomenal directorial debut. It's kind of shocking to me. So, and I've heard great things about this one. I've heard a lot of people actually prefer this one over Hereditary. So let me know if you've seen both and which one you prefer. Next up are two releases from Arrow Video. These are distributed in the U.S. from MVD. New artwork. I believe it's the same transfers from the Scarlet box set, but if you don't want to pay, I don't know, it's like $120, something like that, then you can get these standalone releases right here. And so I believe it's the same special features and transfers for these standalone releases. I will have to double check on like Blu-ray.com to make sure, but from what I've heard, it is. But the only thing is there's no booklet in here. Usually for the Arrow Video releases, even for, like, sometimes it's for the first however many, like 1,000 or 2,000 pressing, the booklet's in there. Then if you get them after that, there's no booklet. But no booklets in these ones. Newly commissioned artwork. This artwork, I think it's okay. Hellraiser 2, I think it looks terrible. I think it looks horrendous. One of the worst artwork choices I've seen in a long time. I think this and the Vinegar Syndrome release for Cutting Class, like the slipcovers for that, they had each, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 ones to commemorate the deaths in the movie, so different artwork choices. Those were some of the worst artwork choices I've seen. And then this one right here, this looks like something I would have drawn on the computer in like Paint back in like 1998. I'm just not a fan of that artwork. It just looks so generic and simplistic and just, I don't know, I find it very disappointing. Here's the back special features. I haven't seen these in quite some time, so I'm definitely looking forward to revisiting them. The first Hellraiser movie was one of the earlier horror movies I saw. I must have been like 7 or 8 years old. I seem to remember the very first one, from what I can recall, was the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Let me know what the first horror movie you saw as a kid growing up that you can remember. And then I saw like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, a few other ones, and then Hellraiser was in there too, and this one was like horrifying as a kid, but I remember absolutely loving it. And one thing I am glad about is the reversible artwork choice, because that is going in there. I don't think this one is too bad. It just doesn't stand out to me, especially when you have that. I feel like it looks so much better. I feel like they could have done a better choice with the artwork. And I always hear people say, oh, you don't like the artwork, you know, could you do better? I could do better, especially better than that. I mean, that's, I haven't drawn anything in a while, but I still think I could do better than that. But I don't know. One of those things, but I'm definitely glad it has reversible artwork. I feel like most people could do better than that too if they actually tried. I mean, I don't know what the commission pay was for that, but they should give it back. That is, I hate that so much. It just looks cheap, generic, just not very detailed, and just, I don't know, the choice, the design, it just doesn't stand out. It looks like something, again, that was drawn on a computer from like 20-something years ago. But I'm glad that we have the choice for reversible artwork. Arrow Video does an amazing job on their releases. The newly commissioned artwork, 99% of the time. This is one of those exceptions right here. The reversible artwork, booklets if they have them, the transfer special features, even the clear packaging for the case. If you're a physical media collector fan, obviously if you're watching this video, you most likely are. Again, you'll definitely appreciate that, little touches like that, but I'm excited to revisit both of these. To me, these were by far the best in the franchise. The third one was decent. I also liked Hellworld with Lance Henriksen. Besides that, all the other ones were some of them were nearly unwatchable, and most are below average. So these two are by far the best in the franchise from what I can recall. And again, it says brand new for 2K restorations on these, and just a ton of special features right there. So definitely excited to revisit these. Clive Barker classic. I'm definitely happy to have these on the new transfer right here. I really wanted to get that Scarlet box set, but for that price point, but shoot, let me know. I feel like Hellraiser 2 is actually a really great sequel. I feel like for some reason it doesn't get quite as much love as it deserves to. But let me know what your favorite horror sequel is. There's some really good ones out there. I feel like Halloween 2, even Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, even though it does have Michael Myers, it's a Halloween horror movie classic in my opinion. And then there's a few, I really like Cold Prey 2. That's one that I think is amazing. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has probably some of the strongest sequels for me. I love the second one, the third one. It falters a little bit there, but I do like the beginning, the remake. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D again has one of the worst lines in horror movie history. Do your thing, cuz yeesh. But I do like a lot of the other ones in the franchise there. Even the recent one, the Leatherface one, from the directors that did Live It Inside. I thought that was an interesting take. They did something unique, but I liked the movie overall. All right, I'm rambling. Let me get on to the next two. Funny Games, 1997, and then Funny Games, I believe this is 2007. Yeah, 2007. Both from the same director, Michael Haneke. He did the original, and he also directed the American remake right here. This one has Naomi Watts and Tim Roth. I've seen both of these, but it's been a long time, and from what I can recall, they're shot for shot. This is a shot for shot remake of the original. This one had, I feel like, a little bit more well-known actors, definitely more well-known actors. And I feel like this one felt more, from what I can recall, like it was a realistic family. This one felt a little bit more polished. I think the cinematography was a little bit better on this one, though. I want to revisit them both, and I decided to pick them up. I wish this had a Blu-ray release. It doesn't have a U.S. version, a one that I looked on there. There's not one in the U.S. And I looked at the U.K. one because sometimes they have region-free ones and I can import, but that's not region-free either. I am excited to revisit both of them, and this is the Criterion Collection release, which they always do an amazing job as well. And home invasion movie. These young two preppy guys come and the egg scene and basically terrorize this family. And I do remember the dogs too. When in any kind of movie, when a person dies in a movie, I'm just like, it was their time. If a dog dies, I'm just like, I'm mad. I'm mad about it. It's like, why did they do this to me? I'm having an emotional time now. I always think of I Am Legend for that too. Just kills me, gets me every time. But there you go, Funny Games. Let me know what your favorite remake is too. I feel like there are some good ones out there, some ones that are unnecessary too. I think of Let the Right One In and then Let Me In. That one I felt was actually a good movie, the remake, but it was unnecessary, and I kind of feel like that about some other movies too. But I think I watched the remake first. I think that's why I kind of have a little bit of an attachment to it. Again, this was a long time ago now, but I don't know. And then I saw this one, and I think it's just the fact that I liked the two leads here. Naomi Watts, so stunning to me. There you go. Those are all the pickups right there, movie-wise. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies and what you think of them, and which is your favorite movie. Do you prefer Midsommar or Hereditary? What is the first horror movie you ever watched? Favorite horror sequel? Favorite horror remake? And if you have any Funko Pops in your collection, what's the favorite one you have and what you'd like to see them release in the future? Let me know what you'd like to see Criterion Collection release in the future, and Arrow Video. I can't wait for their upcoming releases. They have some great ones. American Werewolf in London. I'd like to see somebody release an American Werewolf in Paris. I love that movie, and I feel like it just gets crapped on all the time, but I thought it was a really good werewolf movie. Not a top echelon, but definitely better than so many other ones out there. But there you go. Let me know what you think and which was your favorite item out of all of these, movie-wise, or maybe the Funko Pop, Pennywise. And yeah, let me know if you prefer the old miniseries or It Chapter 1 or 2 recently, and which one of those you prefer too, of them as an adult or kids. So leave me all those comments down below. I like the interaction on here and talking. Even if we have different opinions on a movie, that's okay. I like hearing differing opinions. I think it's kind of interesting. You can find out different stuff that you might not have really thought about, or might broaden your horizons to find other stuff. So I like that. I like, that there's this forum on here that we can discuss and talk movies. I found so many different movies out there, and I think that's a really cool thing. So there you go. Leave me those comments down below again, and take care. Keep it spooky.